How's it going, everyone? Devon from Debo's Fishing. Thank you for tuning in to another How We Do It series, and today we are talking about paints. Now, you've got your compressor set up, you've got your airbrush ready to go, and you're looking at all the paints that you picked up. What are the differences? Why are there so many paints out there on the market? There are little subtle differences in some of these, and some of them have a completely different meaning. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And we'll start out with kind of your primary, your regular opaque paints. Now these are great for giving a good solid color on your lure. So, you know, when you hold a lure up to the light, some of them you can see through, like a transparent look to this. Some of them you don't want that. If you're in dirtier water, you really want to create a silhouette, you want a good dark color. And that's what the primary colors are good for. Everything from, you know, your green watermelon like we have here to a black. Something that can create a good solid color. Now, in contrast to that, we've got the transparent paints, which on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you're in real clear water, you want something real natural looking, you know, where you can kind of see through that. It's, you know, not just a big static color in the water. The transparents are great for that. These colors are also really good for adding different layers over the primary colors. So if you put on, let's say, a yellow of a primary color, and then you go over it with the green like this, it's gonna cover up that bottom color. But with the transparent paints, you can layer those colors in there. So you go to a yellow, and then you can layer a green over that, you know, another color over that, and it really gives you those different layers, which gives that bait 3D life and kind of that real look to it. And then you go over to some of the more fancier stuff, so pearlized paint. And this is what really gives that good sheen, that kind of shad, or in this case a bluegill, kind of shine to it. You know, when those fish, you see them in the light, it's got this kind of pearlized, weird look that's really hard to replicate with paint. But the pearlized and iridescent paints do a good job at that. Now, slightly different is the iridescent paint. And these are really fun because if you look at some of the baits in the shops, it's kind of hard to tell how they get those real little minute details in. For example, the Pro Blue, this is one of my favorites for doing a shad pattern, because if you look at a shad in the wild, it's crazy to see how many real colors are actually on them. It's not just silver and black, right? You know, that we're all used to. So you can layer on these iridescent colors kind of on the cheeks, and this blue contrasts really good. So when you turn it, it's almost got that like oyster shell look to it. A real neat way of adding detail that you don't normally see on a lot of the manufactured baits out there. And then finally, we've got the fluorescent paint. So when you want something really bright, you know, if you're a walleye guy, if you're somebody that just wants something to stand out, some loud, obnoxious color in the water, that's where these come through. So they're gonna be a little bit more wild, a little bit more on the crazy end of things, but each one has its own place. So there's a number of different colors in each one of the categories of the bait blast paints. Again, everything from your simple, regular, opaque colors all the way to the crazy pearl and fluorescence. So for everything you see here, check out doitmolds.com for some paints. Get airbrushing today.